You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Meant something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we know the vision. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we know the vision. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the ropes. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome again. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. It's time to go beyond, to take a deep dive into what you say, into you. That's where all your wisdom and understanding comes from. You were born with it all. We just shine so that you can go find it. You get to take what we say and leave what we don't say, or you get to add a little more to your puzzle called life. Because the only thing that's guaranteed that the divine gave to us is that change is going to occur. Good, bad, indifference, it's going to occur. The more we resist it, the more change called life comes back around to us and says, what do you want us to do with it? Why do they ask, you may say? It's because change is energy. Energy simply wants you to give it a command. That's all. So here we are today. Here we are. New episode, new channeling, new information, new growth and expanding, new shifting and evolution. Are you ready to deep dive? I am. How about you, Marcus?
I know I'm ready to deep dive, that's for sure. Peel back these layers, come into a realization of self, and come into a newfound perception of who it is that we be in this world. And, there is a paragraph I would like to open this space with, out of the good old Kabbalion, the Hermetic philosophy. And I actually read a little bit of this to my father today at the rehab, and he very much enjoyed it, very much. And he said that he's going to be reading this when he comes home. So that's going to be very interesting. And I'm really happy to hear that. But what it is that I was going to read is the all. So this is about the all in the Kabbalion, the Hermetic philosophy. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the full screen for everybody. The all, page 32 in this edition of the Kabbalion by the Three Initiates. And I'm gonna turn this down real quick. Okay. So it begins with substance means that which underlies all outward manifestations. The essence reality, the thing in itself. Substantial means actually existing, being the essential element, being real. Reality means the state of being real, true, enduring, valid, fixed, permanent, actual. Under and behind all outward appearances or manifestations, there must always be a substantial reality. This is the law. Man, considering the universe of which he is a unit, sees nothing but change in matter, forces, and mental states. He sees that nothing really is, but that everything is becoming and changing. Nothing stands still. Everything is being born, growing, dying. The very instant a thing reaches its height, it begins to decline. The law of rhythm is in constant operation. There is no reality, enduring quality, fixity, or substantiality in anything. Nothing is permanent but change. He sees all things evolving from other things and resolving into other things. A constant action and reaction, inflow and outflow, building up and tearing down, creation and destruction, birth, growth, and death. Nothing endures but change. And if he be a thinking man, he realizes that all of these things must be but outward appearances or manifestations of some underlying power, some substantial reality. All thinkers in all lands and all times have assumed the necessity for postulating the existence of this substantial reality. All philosophies worthy of the name have been based upon this thought. Men have given to the substantial reality many names. Some have called it by the term of deity. Others have called it the infinite and eternal energy. Others have tried to call it matter. But all have acknowledged its existence. It is self-evident. It needs no argument. In these lessons, we have followed the example of some of the world's greatest thinkers, both ancient and modern. The Hermetic masters have called the underlying power, this substantial reality, by the Hermetic name of the All, which term we consider the most comprehensive of the many terms applied by man to that which transcends names and terms. We accept and teach the view of the great Hermetic thinkers of all time, as well as the illuminated souls who have reached higher planes of being, both whom assert that the inner nature of the All is unknowable. This must be so, for naught but the All itself can comprehend its own nature and being. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So I was going to read something too, and I think, man, I think it's so totally in alignment with what you read before we get into Raw. This is from The Divine Design. It's by Lori Ladd. And you know, I'm really grateful for this book, because when I started to have more embodying questions about what human beings call aliens and extraterrestrials, and asked the divine, are they of you? This is where the divine led me. I took what resonated with me, which was all of it, and there was nothing that did not resonate with me that I had to leave behind. That's me. One size does not fit all. But here is in chapter 1, the divine led me to read what is the beginning, as perceptive of the expression of the divine channeling through Lori Ladd to write this book. Every expression that is the consciousness of the divine moving and moving through each of us is just that, an expression. The divine gets to see itself in all of us. It doesn't care about truth. It doesn't care about right or wrong. It just cares about the experience. We get to deal with right or wrong based on our perception and based on where it points us to in our growth and expansion. So this is what the divine led me to this morning. It says, let us start from the beginning. This is Lori being channeled to. All consciousness began from the source, which many in your field of consciousness refer to as God. You can refer to it any way you want, even energy, even the mind consciousness. Does not matter. Source is a word used by humans to attempt to understand the beginning of consciousness. See, we want to go all the way back to the beginning because we think that will help us define ourselves, right? Words, or it says, it also allows humans to hold on or conceptualize the unnameable. Consciousness itself does not have a word associated with it, and humans need words to understand its experience. Throughout this whole book, we will use human words to describe that which has no name. In every book that we've ever read, the divine is channeling energy, using the words that entity that it's channeling through, bringing those words into what do you call it? Fruition or form, right? That's what the divine wants you to know, that everything was consciousness before it was anything. Consciousness was the unknown and is the known. We're deep diving into the unknown. We're deep diving into consciousness. And consciousness is allowing us to. Whoa. That's why you are consciousness and consciousness is aware. Back to you, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I have to step away because I just see my reflection and I have a piece of pizza in my tooth. It doesn't look pretty, so I'm going to step away. Just 1 minute. All right.
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting when we think about the multiple perspectives that we can have when it comes to our reality. So, for example, the all is still the all. But depending upon where our vibration's at, depending upon where our focus is, depending on where our mentalism is, then we choose out of our free will and also out of our vibrational state of where we are to then assimilate that reality that we are in when it comes to our vibration field and our perception. And we have choices. We can either look at something as something separate from us, or something that's more powerful, or something that's less than, or anything else. Or we can choose to perceive and believe that you are the consciousness, that you are the all, experiencing itself through this human form. So, for example, you could say, oh, I'm just Marcus, I'm just this human body, and I'm just living this life, and then I die, I go to heaven or hell. Or you can say, I am the divine consciousness, or I am the all, I am the creator, experiencing itself through this human form. So those are different angles, different perceptions that you can put into the formulation of the universe and how it is that you want to experience your existence. And this is always ever changing and fluctuating in every moment. And it just depends on you, on what it is that you're going to choose out of your free will and through your thought patterns. And if you're struggling with getting to a place, with getting to a state of really embodying and feeling and believing that you are connected to the source, or that you are source experiencing itself, then there are things that you can do. There are steps you can take to be able to clear out your channels, to be able to ground yourself, to be able to cleanse out those areas where you may have blockages that could be causing resistance from you being able to flow, feel, and perceive in this type of state. And this is where the many different practices of the world come in, as well as a lot of other things, such as yoga, meditation, even prayer, Tai Chi, as well as chakra clearing out your energy body to make sure that your electromagnetic system's online properly, that your light body is integrated into your physical body, which allows you to be able to sense even deeper your higher emotions, as well as your mental mind as well. And the more that you have this clear within your vessel, then this is able to naturally flow through you and come online, as you can call it, where you have that consciousness flowing through your meridian centers, flowing through your chakras, flowing through your mind and your emotions. And it allows you to be in a more whole state, more natural state of really sensing and embodying and feeling what it's like to feel that wholeness as the I am experiencing through a vessel.
Back
Welcome
to
in,
me.
everybody.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
Back to you.
Before I begin reading, I am going to just ask that the spirit of the living universe, I know that it is always knocking at my door of wisdom and understanding, that it is always reminding my heart that I am exquisite and that I am precious and that I am a powerful being. I know I shine. Even though I may forget it from time to time, even though we may tend to be in our form bodies more than we're in our spiritual or in our conscious, it's okay. Because that's how the divine is expressing through us. It expresses through our feelings, whether they be upset or happy, whether they be confused or mentally just fogged. The divine is seeking expression through that. It's not looking for you to be perfect. It's not looking for you to understand everything that we are sharing with you right now. And if you didn't get it, you once we leave off, you say to yourself, "Oh, I must be dumb because I don't get it. It looks like they've got shine in their eyes because they understand it." It took us time to learn this, and we're still learning it. And somebody else might not call this raw; they might call it by another name that they got the wisdom from. They might have gotten all their wisdom and all their understanding so far from Bashar, or from Abraham Hicks, or from the Bibles and the different parables. It does not mean that you have not learned, that you have not grown, that you are not shining. Don't compare your growth and your awareness of who you are to someone else. You cannot be me or Marcus or anybody else in this room. You can only authentically be you. And you can only authentically take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So with that, what I'm about to read will go all the way back to what Marcus just read in the Kabbalion. And we're going to start here. The questioner says, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so earlier today, I met up with a sister for the first time, and we went down to the park, and we were just having great conscious conversation walking in the park. And we were talking about diet. We were talking about our different diets that we had, and just talking about the journey for both of us. And something that really stood out that we both agreed upon and really resonated with is that nobody can really tell anybody else what is good or what is not good for anybody else, because we all have our own unique DNA. We all have our unique own blueprint of our individual self and who we are. So that was something that we really pondered on, was just because I'm vegan and plant-based doesn't mean that's for everybody. And it's not better and it's not less than anybody else's diet. And it also doesn't make me more spiritual or more anything because I'm plant-based. And something that she talked about is how she used to be plant-based as well. But then she actually developed autoimmune disease from having too much vegetables. So then she was led into, by her own spirit, becoming a straight carnivore. And that's been what's resonant for her being in her path at where she's at right now. So with that being said, we got to really, as they say, know thyself.
Yes.
And know what really works for our own self, because it's going to be different for us. We're in different stages of our paths, and we have different beings when it comes to this avatar that we're in. It's designed differently, It resonates with different things. And it's also going to depend on where we're at in the stage of our life. So just something to really think about, and just really tap in with yourself and see, what resonates for you when it comes to you and your path. And yes, you can take advice if you would like. You can experiment and experience different things. But ultimately, you yourself, you're going to only know for your own self what works best for you and what doesn't. And I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Because I have a collaboration of chicken, turkey, and salmon in my carnivore side, and I have vegetables in my vegan side. I combine them. I eat what the divine leads me to as far as what my body needs. Again, we say one size just doesn't fit all. I've heard some people say, well, you can get back to Mother Earth, and anything that Mother Earth gives you has to be good for you, but maybe not. Maybe that works for the spiritual side, for the energy side of what Mother Earth is vibrating to you, but the form body is very new to to Earth consciousness. Her body's new to her too. Earth, the Earth plane or planet Earth is her body. And that was new to her. She was all consciousness. She had to feel what it was like to have molten lava flowing through her. She had to feel what it was like to have healing waters flowing through her in every type of form. The oceans, the rivers, the streams, the lakes, the ponds, flowing through the trees and the plants, flowing through the butterflies, flowing through the birds. She had to feel water flowing everywhere all at once. And that's what you're doing with your body. Your higher being is feeling it. You feeling when you eat too much and you get heartburn. That's a feeling that you have a direction to say, well, what do I want to do next? Who do I want to be in this vibrational form having heartburn? All the divine is saying is, I feel you burning. That's interesting. It's an expression. So you eat what you want, you do what you want. It does what it does to your body. You figure out what works for you, what's for your highest and greatest good of you, and then you do you. And if somebody says, well, you used to be, what are you doing now? That opens you up to say, hey, I ate a lot of meat, and that made me constipated, and then that led to other things. So now I'm vegan. You give them a what's going on with you, and you allow them to make a discernment for them according to what's for their highest and greatest good. And all you can say to them is, try it out, see if it works for you. Right? And then you keep going. That's life. That's expression. I used to have a friend who, every time we would get together for lunch, she's a vegan. She would always pick a vegan restaurant. And I mean, literally all vegan, even down to the coffee. I can't have some of the vegan coffees because they've got a lot of oils. A lot of oils that are good for you, but not good for my body. And I would immediately, I know this is TMI, but I would immediately have diarrhea. Now, the thing was that it's good for me in one way, but it presents to me in another way. And I had to decide what's for my highest, greatest good. Do I keep going to this restaurant and looking for the nearest bathroom because it was almost immediately. Why? Because oils move through your body quicker than solids. Right? So I had to learn. So what I would do was I would find something on the menu that worked according to my highest and greatest good without making her feel bad, because she thought she was doing great, until one day she said, Sandra, I know when you go, you don't eat. There's not much I could eat. I'm allergic to coconut, and everybody swears by coconut. But coconut does not like my body, or either my body does not like my coconut, and I get the most raging headache immediately, and my throat swells up. So what am I supposed to do? Die for somebody else who wants to have theirs? That's not fair, right? So we have to be our expressive selves. What she asked at the perfect time, and I told her, I explained it to her. Then what she did was she started looking for restaurants that had vegan on the menu and whatever, I don't call it carnivore, just a regular menu, right? So I could pick and choose. And then she would look at things. If I did choose something vegan, she would look at it and go, oh, no, Sandra, that has coconut in it, right? She immediately started caring for me, because at the right time, in the right place, she asked a question that we were able to work with my foreign body. I had someone tell me that because I ate any type of meat, that I wasn't going to go far very spiritually, that I wouldn't be able to connect with the divine at all because I had to be pure. That hurt my heart, because I took it, I couldn't serve. I would never ever be able to expand my light language. I would never be able to read books like Raw and really understand them, let alone share them, or be channeled to read based on things put here. Yes, they're all put here on Earth, and yes, humanity has changed them. They have grotesquely shifted them with their energy, right? But then the divine, I sat with the divine, and I really cried about it, because my heart was hurt. I can't serve you because I'm not pure. And the divine said, who told you that? Right? Sat with me, like, not spanking me, not putting me in the corner saying you need a timeout because you believe that. That's your perception, Sandra. I put everything here on the earth. Go find out where you fit in it and what fits for your body. I gave you a unique body. You're unique. You're authentic. What works for one person is not going to work for you. And unless you know that you can heal yourself from within, you better keep your doctor on speed dial, and keep a conversation with your doctor as well, so that you can at least know what's going on with your body. So when you go sit at the seat of your soul and start talking to your cells and having them regenerate, you can call it by name, so that you can call it out of you. And unless you know that you've got the spirit to walk on water, and you're not going to sink, don't attempt to walk on water unless you know that the vibration of that vibration that you can turn into water, you can do it. Don't drown because somebody else tells you you're not spiritual enough. Somebody right here.
Don't even get me started on that.
Don't
even get me started on that. Spiritual narcissism.
I'm telling you. We're walking around
'Cause,
telling
like,
each other what we can't do and what we can't do and what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And the divine says, I got this. I got this. You were my brightest dream. And I'm still dreaming about you. Somebody in here
like
is
it's one thing. Like, it's one thing to have a boundary for yourself and to place that boundary, but it's another thing when you try to tell people who they are, what they should be doing, and things of that nature. And it's also even written in the testaments, in the scriptures, that God isn't looking for the perfect, classy, upper class, and the people that are all like shining on the outside and looking to be the greatest and the best at everything. If you really know the testaments, it talks about how God looks for the people that you'd never even think, the people that are looking homeless, the people that don't have money, the people that are starving, the people that are struggling, to use them as a living example of, look, it's not about the outward manifestations. It's not about the outside. It's about what's within. It's about what's behind that substance. And remembering too that, because this is huge right now, and I'm not going to dive into what I could relate this to, but there's this thing with spirituality, and spirituality sometimes gets placed into separation. And if we know the true definition of what spirituality means basically finding the connection within all. And then within all means within all. So it's not this is spiritual, but sports is not spiritual. This is spiritual, but that's not spiritual. Spirituality is coming to the remembrance, coming to the awareness of the connection within all. So if we believe that the all is the all and is within all, then that means the all is within sports, the all is within your food, the all is within the person that you claim to be your enemy, the all is within your best friends, and the all is within you.
And then in that,
but we all
right in that we
Yep.
respect the expression of the choices that everybody is making, good, bad, and indifferent. We just are given the ability to have likes and dislikes, and say, for me, my likes and dislikes don't mean that I want a group to share my likes and dislikes with. I don't want to come together just because I don't like somebody and the way they do a certain thing. And I don't want anybody rallying around me, wanting me to speak out for that. It means I don't like a certain thing that a certain person does. That vibration of that is going to point me in a direction of something I do like. And that starts to alchemize my change. Now, take what resonates, because that's for me. That is not for everybody else. You do you. If you prefer groups, if you prefer the collective of the likes and the collective of the don't likes, do that. Why? Because that's your expression of how you want to express in this duality, in this mirror image. And we can do that, which actually takes me into the question that the questioner is going to ask. The questioner asks these two types, and he's talking about something before, but he says these two type of entities seem to be very incompatible. You might say, okay? And he says, but can you tell me the reason for both types of entities inhabiting the same space/time? What matters is what Ra responds. Ra says, I am Ra. Consider the workings of free will as applied to evolution. There are paths that the mind-body complex follows. That's us, right? That follows in the attempt to survive, to reproduce, and to seek its fashion, that which is unconsciously felt as the potential for growth. These two arenas or paths are developmental or developing between two or more. That some things where we'll say peace and confusion can't abide in the same vibratory space. Well, yes, they can. They're mirrors of each other. You go, what? Well, if you have confusion, you can move to and evolve to peace. They might not be able to be in the same vibrational space for long, but they're there for a reason, for growth. Hate and the vibration of hate and love are vibrational mirrors of each other. Without hate, you can't know love. Without love, you can't know hate. You can't grow, right? Then the questioner says, in second density, the concept of bisexual reproduction first originates. Is this correct? And Ross says, this is correct. The questioner says, can you tell me the philosophy behind this method of what is this word? Propagation. I should have just went with my first thing, of the bodily complex, right? See, because the reason why the divine chose this is we think that we're always saying the sacred womb. We're saying that women were only meant to have babies because their womb is sacred, right? So therefore, two women can't get together and have a baby unless they procreate somehow with a man. But in the fifth density, where all this started, it didn't have to have a womb. The womb was outside. It was called the vortex, or it was called the quantum field. And all two people had to do, whether they were male or female, was have an intention together in the energy that they stood in, have intention and have energy. And the womb was outside of them. That blew my mind when I read this morning, and the divine gave me that definition. It might be different for other people, because remember, the divine is going to talk to you based on what you want to hear. If you're open to hearing something different, the divine will give it to you different. I grew up in a Baptist background. Remember, there was man and there was woman. Adam was created first. And Adam was lonely and sad, and God put Adam to sleep, took a rib, and made woman so that Adam wouldn't be, right? And then that's when procreation started. It took a man and a woman. And we've been doing that ever since. See the story? But here's the thing. Two men get married. They want to have a child. They have the energy plus the intention, and then they go and adopt a child that wants to be adopted. Do you see the energy? The womb is outside of them. It's not about body, it's about spirit. Doesn't mean the man has to have a womb. Doesn't mean two women have to have sperm. It means they have to have intention plus energy. And they're tapped in and tuned into the quantum energy. Whoa. Back to you, Marcus. Back to you, Marcus. Whoa. Got something for me, Marcus?
Oh boy. I got something for you, all right. I got something for you.
Tiara Ross says
no. She was
she's telling me no. She's telling me, I guess she's telling me no, man wasn't first, woman was first. Take what resonates. Do you know what I mean? Take what resonates.
I could also say that both were first at the same time.
At the same time. I mean,
there's a lot of theories that we have, and these are theories. So let's keep that in mind.
These are infinite possibilities. Right?
Yeah. And there's no right or wrong to it, and everybody's valid with their perception. But for me, it's personally, I just see balance. I see both at the same time.
Me too.
And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But thank you for sharing that, Takia Ross. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm with the latter.
So this leads to.
I am with the latter, and also on your assignment. I agree. That's put your phone down. Podcast studio. That said that. I love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Bring us home.
Back to the Kabbalion, the Hermetic principles for everybody out there, the teachings of Thoth, ancient Egyptian mystery school teachings. The wonderful thing that you brought up was about pretty much like the blending of all forms and how one thing basically mutates into the next, and then next mutates into the next. And this brings me to principle number 2 of the Kabbalion, the Hermetic principles, the principle of correspondence. So this principle embodies the truth that there is always a correspondence between the laws and the phenomena of the various planes of being and life. The old Hermetic axiom ran in these words: as above, so below, as below, so above. And the grasping of this principle gives one the means of solving many a dark paradox and hidden secret of nature. There are planes beyond our knowing, but when we apply the principle of correspondence to them, we are able to understand much that would otherwise be unknowable to us. This principle is of universal application and manifestation. On the various planes of the material, mental, and spiritual universe, it is an universal law. The ancient Hermeticists considered this principle as one of the most important mental instruments by which man was able to pry aside the obstacles which hid from the view the unknown. Its use even tore aside the veil of Isis to the extent that a glimpse of the face of the goddess might be caught. Just as a knowledge of the principles of geometry enables man to measure distant suns and their movements, while seated in his observatory, to a knowledge of the principle of correspondence enables man to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown. Studying the monad, he understands the archangel. So when you study the correspondence or the law of correspondence, it begins to show you that nothing is ever of coincidence. Nothing is ever just what it seems on the outside. That there is something that has caused an effect to that moment that is taking place. And with that being said, we're able to see things almost kind of like, as we say, in a holistic approach, where we start to see that there is some type of underlying connection cord that is connecting everything that is taking place now. And what's taking place now is a effect from a cause right before it. And then that cause was due to a choice, a action out of free will. And then we experience the effect of that cause. And then this is just a continuance, never ending, eternal, as we continue to flow through existence. And with that being said, the more that you align yourself with that type of awareness, you're able to tap more into the Akashic records. You're able to tap into the timelines that have been taking place. And then you're able to see, oh, okay, so this is how we got to where we are now in this modern time of Earth. Or this is how my soul ended up getting to here now in this earth plane. Or this is why I am living as this life path number, because I'd already done these certain things in the lifetime before, which then set me up for this lifetime to then have these attributes and characteristics, to have this type of karma to experience because of what it was that I did right before that. Yeah, it's very, very interesting stuff, these Hermetic principles. And the Hermetic principles, what I really like about them is it's really about non-separation. It's about finding interconnectedness within all. And with that, that includes also the creator. No separation whatsoever, remembering that the all is within all. And it takes me to the last part that I wanted to read real quick. And that is about the all. And it says, the human reason, whose reports we must accept so long as we think at all, informs us as following regarding the all, and that without attempting to remove the veil of the unknowable. Number one, the all must be all that really is. There can be nothing existing outside of the all, else the all will not be the all. Number two, the all must be infinite, for there is nothing else to define, confine, bound, limit, or restrict the all. It must be infinite in time or eternal. It must have always continuously existed, for there is nothing else to have ever created it, and something that can never evolve from nothing. And if it had ever not been, quote unquote, even for a moment, it would not be now. It must continuously exist forever, for there is nothing to destroy it, and it can never not be, even for a moment, because something can never be nothing. It must be infinite in space. It must be everywhere, for there is no place outside of the all. It cannot be otherwise than continuous in space, without break, cessation, separation, or interruption. Key word there. It cannot be without interruption, even if we believe something's an interruption. For there is nothing to break, separate, or interrupt. It's continuity, and nothing with which to fill in the gaps, quote unquote. It must be infinite in power or absolute, for there is nothing to limit, restrict, restrain, confine, disturb, or condition it. It is subject to no other power, for there is no other power. Number 3, the all must be immutable, or not subject to change in its real nature, for there is nothing to work changes upon it, nothing into which it could change, not from which it could have changed. It cannot be added to nor subtracted from, increased nor diminished, nor become greater or lesser in any respect whatsoever. It must have always been and must always remain. But what it is now, the all, there has never been, is not now, and never will be anything else into which it can change. The all being infinite, absolute, eternal, and unchangeable, it must follow that anything finite, changeable, fleeting, and conditioned cannot be the all, and there is nothing outside of the all. In reality, then, any and all such finite things must be as nothing in reality. Now, do not become befogged nor frightened. We're not trying to lead you into the science field on cover of Hermetic philosophy. There is a reconciliation of this apparently contradictory state of affairs. Be patient. We will reach it in time. Ooh-wee.
All right. So let's keep that going. Just a little bit more from the divine design. All right. It says, source exists as vibrations, a soul tone, a single breath that never stops, a heartbeat that continues to expand. Source is a single vibration that has no beginning and no end. There is no definition, no description, no label. It just is. It's the all that just is. All right, let's keep going. It exists in no time or space, and yet it holds everything. All right. It is a concept that one human mind grapples with because source is beyond experience. Henceforth, this is why source is experiencing us as unique, as authentic. It's beyond experience. So now it wants to experience itself in form. It didn't need our permission to do that. But we as human beings say it must have. It gave us free will. That's something that created us must have. And here's where the divine gave me. It's the dreamer. Source is the dreamer having a dream about the dreamer having a dream. It's the dreamer having a dream about the dreamer having a dream about being formed. Right? It is all and nothing at the same time. Source is multidimensional. The source decided to have an experience of itself as physical. And then it called out to all parts of itself from every area of itself that is and is not, and said, you want to play with me? Do you, the higher beings that were expressing through source already before us human beings hit this planet 11,000 freaking years ago, and said, do you want to come play? And I said, yes. And so it says, all right, let me tell you the universal laws of how you can play. First, you got to know that I'm seeking myself and I'm shifting in all that is and all that is not. And I'm doing it with the physical form body. Do you still want to play? There were some higher beings that said, yes, I'm going to play and form. And there are other higher beings that I think I want to be consciousness, and I want to be that which these beings want to create form as. And consciousness said, all right, let the play begin. Do you know Earth's playground is still expanding? We may see a round-shaped little ball that they show us out in the expanse of what we believe is nothingness with some other planets around us, but that's our playground. But there's more beyond that because it's still growing. Why? Because the dreamer is having a dream of the dreamer having a dream. And if we're dreaming about expansion, then the dreamer that's having the dream is expanding as well. So it really doesn't matter if woman came first. It really doesn't matter if male and female came together. What matters is the dreamer is having a dreamer. The dreamer is the dreamer having a dream about the dreamer. I'm the dreamer. I just so happened to come here, and I just so happened to be shaped as a woman this time in this period of time. I just so happened to be a woman. Right? And guess what? We don't have to try to figure out how far to go back. You can sit at the seat of your soul and ask your soul, if you really want to know how old your soul is, that it matters what you're going to do in this life experience, that you find out how old your soul is, where your soul came from, what planet the soul came from, and what communities the soul came from. Then sit down at the seat of your soul and ask that question. Sit down at the seat of your soul and ask your soul that's connected with the dreamer. Find out. You really want to find out why the dreamer said, I'm giving you masculine energy and feminine energy? Go sit at the seat of your soul and ask your soul that question. Be open for the answer. And know that the divine speaks to and through you with every communication available. Books, music, workshops, everything. You go to get a card pulled, the divine created that. It was energy that became form of your cards. It was energy that became form of your prophets and your guide, your angels and your guides. Energy is nothing, and the something, or the no thing and the thing, or the manifested and the unmanifested, all at the same time. They occupy the same space. Here we are, third density, duality, the mirror. In order to have the higher polarities, we've got to have the lower polarities, because that's third density. And we could complain all we want about how dense it is and how hard it is, but it was not promised that it was not going to be hard. It was promised that there will always be the ability to change, to shift, to expand, and to evolve. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, because you're going to expand and evolve, even if you never read a book, even if you never listen to music, even if you never dance or do art, even if you never listen to anybody's podcast, you will always be growing and expanding. My question is, that you would need to ask, is what are you expanding from if you are not tapped into any of those things? If you're not aware of anything at all, you're creating something. What is it? Because energy is always turned on and always listening to you. So if you don't believe in this and you don't believe in that, and and life is kind of fucking with you, there's a reason why it's doing it. There is some energy that's occupying the same space at the same time. What is it creating for you? You can blame it on your generational ancestors, but they're not the ones that are creating for you. They put shit in your light codes. They put shit in your DNA. But if you're not tuned in, and tapped into them, asking your higher being to read it for you, then you get what you get. And we as humanity have been taught to blame other people for the shit that we let happen to us because we created it. Back to you, Marcus.
Wow.
Wow.
So then, with that being said, that brings me to modern science endorses, and which each new scientific discovery tends to verify. Yet, this Hermetic principle was enunciated thousands of years ago by the masters of ancient Egypt. The principle explains that the differences between different manifestations of matter, energy, mind, even spirit, result largely from varying rates of vibration. From the all, which is pure spirit, down to the grossest form of matter, all is in vibration. The higher vibration, the higher the position within the scale. The vibration of spirit is at such an infinite rate of intensity and rapidness that it is practically at rest, just as a rapidly moving wheel seems to be motionless. And at the other end of the scale, there are gross forms of matter whose vibrations are so low that it seems to be at rest. Between these poles, there are millions upon millions of varying degrees of vibrations. From corpuscles and electrons, atoms and molecules, to worlds and universes, everything is in vibratory motion. This is also true on the planes of energy and force, and also on the mental planes, and even on the spiritual planes. An understanding of this principle with the appropriate formulas enables a Hermetic student to control their own mental vibrations as well as those of others. The masters also apply this principle to the conquering of natural phenomena in various ways. He who understands the principle of vibration has grasped the scepter of power, says one of the old writers. And then I also was going to read where it says, we see around us that which is called matter, which forms the physical foundation for all forms. Is the all merely matter? Matter cannot manifest life or mind, and as life and mind are manifested in the universe, for nothing rises higher than its own source. Nothing is ever manifested in an effect that is not in the cause. Nothing is evolved as a consequent that is not involved. And then modern science informs us that there's really, in reality, no such thing as matter. That what we call matter is merely, quote unquote, interrupted energy or force. That is, energy or force at a lower rate of vibration. As a recent writer has said, matter has melted into mystery. Even material science has abandoned the theory of matter and now rests on the basis of energy. Then is the all mere energy or force? Life and mind can never evolve from blind energy or force for the reason given a moment ago. Nothing can rise higher than its source. Nothing is evolved unless it is involved. Nothing manifests in the effect unless it is in the cause. And so the all cannot be mere energy or force, for it were then there would be no such thing as life and mind in existence. And we know better than that, for all we are alive and using mind to consider this very question. And so are those who claim that energy or force is everything. What is there then higher than matter or energy that we know to be existent in the universe? Life and mind. Life and mind in all their varying degrees of unfoldment. Then you ask, what do you mean to tell us that the all is life and mind? Yes and no is our answer. If you mean life and mind as we poor mortals know them, we say no. The all is not that. But what kind of life and mind do you mean, you ask? The answer is living mind, as far above that which mortals know by those words, as life and mind are higher than mechanical forces, or matter, infinite living mind, as compared to finite life and mind. We mean that which the illuminated souls mean when they reverently pronounce the word spirit. The all is infinite living mind. The illuminated call it spirit. Man. It's very interesting when they speak on this because, you know, they say also, some of us, they say that we're basically like in the mind of the creator, so to say. Illusions of the actuality of the all. And those illusions are always changing and changing form, which means it's not absolute. But there is a connection within all of us that is connected to the creator, to the all. And when we identify with our material self, we have to remember that that identification is an illusionary form that is subject to change. But if we choose to perceive as the all, experiencing itself through material form, then we step into the realm where we start perceiving and accessing the living lifestyle of realizing that Marcus is not real. Marcus is just a illusionary, temporary identification of something that really doesn't even truly exist, because it's going to diminish away one day and it's not going to be a form again. So this is where we surrender, so to say, to the living spirit, to allow ourselves to remember that I'm not truly Marcus. I'm the living spirit experiencing as an identity of Marcus. And it's really not even experiencing as an identity of Marcus. That's just a figment in my own imagination of my mind that I'm clinging onto and identifying with. And that's what it is in the end. When there really isn't even an end. And there's not even really an end.
Yeah. Infinite possibilities. Okay, so Ross, the questioner asked Ra. Yesterday, we had arrived at a point. They had a conversation that prior day. We arrived at a point where we were considering colors of light. The questioner says, you said, speaking to Ra, the nature of the vibratory patterns of your universe is dependent upon the configurations placed upon the original material or light by the focus or love using its intelligent energy to create a certain pattern of illusions or densities in order to satisfy its own intelligent estimate of a method of knowing itself. All right. I want you guys to know that Marcus and I don't sit in class discussing what we're going to talk to you about. This is all divinely designed by the divine. The divine that is the dreamer having a dream about the dreamer having a dream. All right. Okay, so the questioner says, then after this, you said that there was more material that you would be happy to share, but we ran out of time. Could you give us further information? This is where we're going to start at. Ra says, I am Ra. In discussing this information, we then, shall we say, snap back into the particular method of understanding or seeing that which the one sound vibration complex called Dewey offered. This being correct of the second meaning of intelligent infinity, the potential which then through catalyst forms the kinetic. Kinetic is just another version of energy. The divine is energy. And energy is waiting to serve. It serves the divine. The divine seeking itself, seeking out into itself. And how do you say seeking out into itself when it's out? But the divine is everything and nothing all at once. Take what resonates, right? And kinetic is part of it, right? Ra goes on to say this information is a natural progression of inspection of the kinetic shape of your environment. The divine is seeking itself in what it's creating. The environment is even alive, right? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You may understand each color or ray as being, as we said, a very specific and accurate portion of intelligent energy. Oh, now energy is intelligent, just like what Marcus was saying. It's intelligent. It's seeking itself, and it knows it's seeking itself as everything that is and that is not. As Marcus, as Sandee, as you, as your mother, as your father, as your great aunt, as your great 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 uncle, it's seeking itself as form. And form is it's not formless. It's not forever. It's got to go back to the formless. It's going to cease to be as one thing and grow to be as another. Let's keep going. So then Ross says, this information may be of aid here. We speak now non-specifically to increase the depth of your conceptualization of the nature of what is. The universe in which you live is recapitulation in each part of intelligent infinity. Infinity Oh, there it is again. It's intelligent. Even the rock that the consciousness is being is intelligent. Yet we kick it like it doesn't exist. Because, oh, it's nothing but a rock. There's nothing but dirt. But dirt is intelligent. You want to know why? Because it grows things. You don't have to look down at it and say, grow for me. It's intelligent. Right? Then Ross says, thus you will see the same pattern repeated in physical and metaphysical areas, the rays and the portions of the light being. Oh shit, it's intelligent. How the fuck did you think you got intelligent? It's not by just only learning through books or going to workshops. You were born that way. You were created that way. You were clay, molded, and then the divine spoke its beingness into you. Infinite intelligence. Everything that we've ever seen in a sci-fi movie. Right? I'm just saying. Take what resonates, what doesn't. I'm not trying to make you change your point of view. I'm giving you more information through what was said, what was channeled from the divine through this entity to this physical being who wrote it in a book, and you get to take what resonates and what does not. Doesn't mean you have to believe it. Here we go. Let's keep going. It says, the rays or portions of light being, as you surmise, he's talking to the questioner, those areas of what you may call the physical illusion, which rotate, vibrate, and are of a nature that may be, or shall we say, counted or categorized in rotation manner in space and time, and described as what they considered was Dewey. Go look Dewey up. Dewey. Some substances having various of the rays of the energy in a physical manifestation visible to the eye, this being apparent in the nature of your crystallized minerals, that which you count as a precious, like a ruby, are crystals. How we know them to have energy, right? So the questioner then asks, this light occurs as a consequence of vibration, which is consequence of love. I am going to ask if that statement is correct. Now he's asking, is love energy? Is love infinite? Infinite. Because in many other ways, Ra has said in the first book that love, light, and light, love are the divine. And the infinite consciousness is alive, is energy. Holy moly. Batman says the earth form called Robin. Right? Holy shit, Batman. Have I had it wrong? I just thought that we lived on a planet that's rock and dust out in the middle of the dark vastness of the universe all by our freaking fucking selves, and we're on, and we humans are on top of the food chain. We just found out that all the infinite around us is intelligent, and it created us with purpose, on purpose, with the purpose. And the divine, God or source or illusion or awareness, whatever you choose to call your higher being that you pray to or hold space for, was intelligent and created us on purpose with a purpose. And my God, it was seeking itself in, through, and as me so that it could have a moment to see and feel itself in form, because it knew all about itself in the formless. Ooh. Right? Back to you, Marcus. I'm just saying. You gotta just let that fill you up. It fills me up to know that I come from an infinite creator that is the all and the nothing, that it expands everywhere. The first thing the divine, because I was asking about heaven, and the divine said, just call it the realm of the absolute, all that is and is not. And I said, ooh, it radiated in me. It felt like I had ate a whole cheesecake, and I was just sitting back going, oh, that was good. That radiated through me. It might not radiate for you. You might see it. You might see, feel, and hear it just a little bit differently. But it's an infinite possibility that the divine had shares with me, wants to share with you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So I'm feeling called. I'm feeling called to take a moment for us and to guide us through a very, very brief couple-minute meditation, just to allow this information to process a little bit and allow it to be sensed and felt within our system. So those of you that are watching live, if you would like to join in on this meditative space that I'm going to go ahead and lead, feel free. And you can grab crystals, burn some sage, hydrate a little bit if you would like, as we get ready. This will be a very brief meditation, and this meditation is gonna be in the intention of allowing us to just ground a little bit, open up our centers and open up our channels, and experience a little bit of that non-identified energy, that living spirit, and allow it to flow through us. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. You can either sit or lay down if you'd like, or you can stand if you have to stand. Either way. And as we begin, let's just make sure that we're allowing our body to be relaxed. We're allowing our body to be soft. Relaxing the shoulders down to the side. For laying down, having our legs straight. And then checking out the jaw, making sure that we're not clenching our teeth, holding any tension in that area. And then checking in with the fingers, making sure that we're not balling our fists. And then making sure that our toes are nice and flat on the ground if we're sitting. This opens up our channels. This opens up our streamline throughout our body. The more that we are relaxed, the more that we're soft. Now we're going to focus on the breath. Breathing in through the nose. Drawing that breath down the body. Down to the earth. And then exhaling out of the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out of the mouth. Continue to stay with that breath. Breathing in through the nose. And out of the mouth. And as you continue to breathe, letting go of any expectations. And if you have any expectations that arise, you may very calmly and beautifully guide them and release them through the breath. Staying with the breath, clearing out and gently guiding any negative thoughts, any of the monkey mind that may be flowing. Gently, gently, gently with love, just guiding it with the breath, just politely. I am releasing you through my breath. Thank you for your time. Staying with that breath, releasing and letting go. Any obligations after this space or anything before it that you are still holding on to. Whether it was a debate earlier today, a conflict, whatever it may be, you may smoothly guide it out with the breath. And as we continue to breathe, beginning to draw down from above a crystal golden white light. And as we continue to breathe, this golden white light begins to travel down to the top of the head. This golden white light begins to clear the crown chakra. with every breath, amplifying and supporting this energy. Opening up our connection metaphysically to the higher self, to the divine. Feeling this golden white begin to stream through the head and down to the third eye, between the eyebrows. Clearing our third eye in our brain and our forehead. And as we continue to breathe, we're clearing away any distortions, any imbalanced beliefs, any separation within our mind or hemispheres. Now the golden white light travels down and makes its way down the face, down to the throat center, clearing away any blockages in the throat. Opening up our channel for clear communication, for honesty and vulnerability, and our ability to put forth our magic and creativity into the world. The golden white light continues, and it makes its way down through the higher heart, helping us remain patient in our human journey, helping us transmute any darkness into awareness and pure light. As we breathe, this golden white light travels to the center of the chest, at the heart center, clearing away any feelings of division. Opening up our fluid streamline of unconditional love within all that is. Embracing our empathy, our compassion of self as the all in all mirrors and reflections, no matter what degree of who they are, no matter the field that they reside in, and no matter what their identity is. And as we continue to breathe, golden white light travels down to the solar plexus in the abdomen, clearing away any blockages of natural confidence, boosting our self-esteem, and releasing any distortions surrounding our value, our worthiness, and resistance of our willpower and ability to take action as a conscious co-creator. Whoever has told you that you are not worthy, whoever has told you that you do not have value in the actions that you take, may they be forgiven, and may we now let it go, as they are not aware in this moment of the remembrance that you are them and they are you. We give them grace. Golden white light travels down below the belly button to the sacral, purifying and uplifting our inner creativity, our ability to feel our emotional energy, and to fluidly be able to flow with our emotional energy. Remembering that our inner child is safe to express itself, and that it is okay to feel all of your emotions, and you are not too much. So whoever has said that you are too much, including your own self, we may now let that go, as you are never too much or too less, but you baby, you are exactly just as much as you need to be in all of your forms and all of your expressions. You are valid at where you are vibrationally, and it is up to you on where you would like to be vibrationally. The golden white light begins to make its way down as we continue to breathe, down to the base at the root chakra, beginning to clear and open our foundational grounding pad into our physical human avatar. Clearing away the distortion of fear. If you are having any fears, You may now bring it forward and consciously release it through the breath. Embracing security, stability, infinite abundance flowing through us. And as the root chakra opens and clears, this golden white light begins to flow out of the root and down to the electromagnetic grid of Earth, and anchors like an anchor for a boat, anchoring your vessel that is the boat for spirit, anchoring down to the depths of the ocean of Mother Earth. And then lands and stabilizes at the core of the mother. Feeling that anchor begin to pull down to bring peace, resolution, solitude to all layers of your human being, including your nervous system, your mind, and beyond. Now embracing and feeling the streamlined fluid connection of the heavenly energies of above, flowing through the crown and the body, and down to the root, to the earth. Then taking one last gigantic deep breath to embrace all that you are. And release. Utayama ukuta shi isimiana tukota ishimiata tuka inotutikiyata isimiana shutukoyata isimikia.
Yesu mokuate kyoto yendo take netu tio shasha nato kubu kodo kuchie nata ka tio shisho no tuku na ku tio shena mokwa tio shana tio no taki kodo kuchie nato kubu na kubu se na kuku chena kuku na tiena maluko na tiena to kuku tieni de shosho na to kuku nai tia shonda to kuku nai maluko shena te ki shi na to ta ki de kuku ni tu. All that is and is not. You are. Mm. Mm. Quando cucuccia no totota e se solo uccesse perché non tocca dia baku ate sanataka a. Mm. 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 Ah, let that is flow. However it may flow for you, wherever it may flow to or from, you are unique. You are authentic. There is only one you that the divine is flowing through. Seek not to be someone else. Seek to be yourself, and then seek to change. Sit at the seat of your highest being. Ask yourself an embodying question. And then be quiet. The answer will come. The divine doesn't seek you to be perfect. It just seeks a experience. If you seek perfection, then the divine says, let it be so. And the door is open. And you get to seek it. And you get to express it. If perfection isn't for your highest and greatest good as you're seeking it, you get to change it. It's called opt-out. Opt out of the story that you start playing or the script that you wrote, that you put in play, but you don't want it in play in. Opt out. Tell everybody, game over. I'm going to the other side of the playground. You get to ask them if they want to come, but guess what? They can opt out from where you want to go as well. Not everybody is going to follow you to where you think is going to be for your highest and greatest good. But you get to say, thank you for playing with me. I'm going over here. And you get to go. Life isn't doing anything to you. It's doing everything because you gave it direction. If it's not the direction that you want to go, stop. Sit and have an embodying question with your higher being, because your higher being is going, hey, I wanted to feel this, 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 and this. And you get to say, well, are you done feeling this, 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 and this? Because it made me feel this way and this way and this way and this way. And your higher being will say, I didn't give a command of how long I wanted to feel it. I just wanted to feel what loss was. I wanted to feel what love was. In order to feel love, you had to feel hate or dislike. In order to feel comfortable, you had to feel what uncomfortable was it. But you get to opt out of the story when you're done feeling the way you feel, if it's not for your highest and greatest good. In everybody's story, you're not meant to be the main player. Find out where you were cast as. Because if you're just an extra, if you're just filler, you can opt out and say, I want to go over here. I want to go over there. I don't want to pay. I don't want to play anymore. And the higher beings are going to say, hey, okay, bye. See you. They really do have to do that. They're all on the playground together. I'm being in somebody's story and somebody's being in my story. I have someone written as my co-star and somebody written as my day player and as my featured extra and as my just extras, and they're moving around doing what they're supposed to be doing. But hey, if they decide to leave the playground and they decide, I'm not even going to tell her I'm leaving the playground, guess what? That's a infinite possibility. They can do that. We may not have to like it, or we may have a label that we choose to call it, but when they leave your play area, you can have a discerning moment to find out, is you feeling distressed about them leaving, or is it distress that you're scared that you have to start a new part of your story? Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If what we've shared about what Ra has been channeling doesn't fit, it's okay. It's just information that you get to, if you choose to hold on to, might fit later on, because you went to somebody's workshop and then you go, oh, I know where that fits. I know where that fits. And then you can fit it in and you go, oh, that's the link to the path that I finally, that little link that connected everything. It makes your life workable. Now you know what you need to let go of and what you can replace with. It's your choice. That's what free will is all about. Just because people walk away from the story doesn't mean you need to walk away too. Just like my mother said, you see people running and jumping off the cliff, Sandee, your friends running and hightailing it off the cliff. Are you just going to go because that's where you see them running to? And I used to always look at my mother like, no, I'm not. I'm going to ask somebody, why are they going that way? Why are they jumping? And decide if jumping is the way I want to go. I just never believed in following the leader. I always asked the leader, where are you going? Most of the time. Take what resonates. Ra isn't trying to tell you how to live your life. Ra is giving you some infinite possibilities of what you could choose from. Being a social, a higher social complex that has already, as a planet, as a group of collective beings on a planet that finally achieved shifting in wholeness. The whole planet became a social memory complex. Shifted and evolved into a social memory complex, and then said, I want to go watch out and look after Earth and her beings. Earth made a call, and Ra answered. Earth consciousness made a call for her body. She needed more light energy so that she could shift and expand into fourth density, into fifth density. And she knew she was connected to humanity, and humanity had to come with her. So she needed more help. And every beingness that is part of the consciousness of the no thing that is everything and nothing all at the same time answered. How blessed are we? How glorious are we? And I just got a picture of the consciousness holding up a surfboard, riding through a wave, surfing the cosmos. Glorious, simply glorious. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to co-host with you today, Marcus.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you to the all.
Thank you to the all. Wow. We did 2 hours and 9 minutes, or 6 minutes. 2 hours and 6 minutes. I'm seeing 5:39.
Boom. Love you too, Kaya. Oof.
Yeah.
With that being said,
Yes, with that
I believe that will do it.
I believe. I believe I need some water.
Hydration check.
Definitely.
Oh.
So what episode are we at? What episode are we at?
This was episode 12.
Episode 12. Oh my. Oh my. So Wednesday, right? 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got more deep dive to go.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm not even going to try to hide it. I think I like it. Welcome.
We will see you guys then.
I mean, I could go on and on and on, but all of us need a break. Hey, this is Sunday evening for a lot of people. Go out and be the creators, the cosmic creators that you were meant to be. You got the cosmos in you. You got that energy in you. Scientists have already figured out that you got the power of a star in you. You're walking atom bombs in this duality. Imagine what your power can do. Go be authentically you and create the story that you want for your authentic self. Thank you for joining us.
Everybody have a blessed and beautiful night or day wherever you are. And we'll see you guys for episode 13 of Ascending Beyond Limitations. Thank you guys for the support, the love, the receiving, the sharing, wholeness and balanced love.
Growth and expansion, shifting and evolving, and embrace the change. One love.
One love.